What's up, everybody, and Happy New Year's Eve. A lot has happened in 2022, and I feel like it's really important for all of us to take a minute, sit back, relax, and kind of reflect on everything that happened this year. So with that being said, I figured I would take a minute to kind of go over all of the biggest financial lessons that I learned in 2022. That way, each and every one of us can go into 2023 with something that we can be more prepared for, and that way 2023 doesn't end up being like 2022. So cheers. So where to start? I think one of the biggest things that I learned in 2022 was that you need to be financially prepared. And this is for anything that comes in your life, whether it's an emergency expense, like something breaks, or you need to be prepared for something like your retirement or your financial future or a potential family that you want to have down the road, right? You need to be prepared with your finances because we don't know exactly what is going to happen next. All of these big, huge, sweeping changes that we've seen in the financial world, well, they have happened because of major events like inflation. They have happened over wars, and none of these things were anything that any one of us could have predicted just even a few months ago, right? So we have all of these big financial changes, and one thing that we can all do is make sure that we are spending and make sure that we are watching our money effectively so that way we can prepare and protect ourselves going into 2023 and for all future years. I don't know what the Federal Reserve is going to do with its monetary policies. I don't know if we're going to see a recession in 2023 or 2024, but whether we do or whether we don't is pretty much irrelevant. What you need to understand is that we could see these events at any time in the future, and you can't predict them, but you can predict what you're going to do with your own finances. You can predict how much money you're going to set aside for savings. You can predict how much money you're going to invest every single month. You can do these things, and that will help prepare you for not only the bad things, but potentially all of the good things that come of that, right? You'll be more prepared to have a major purchase, right? Like getting a house or getting the car that you've always wanted. You'll be more prepared for taking on opportunities if we do see something like a recession or a downturn or anything in 2023 and beyond. That all starts today. I'm not really one for new year, new me, but I think that everybody can benefit by trying to become their best version of their self every single day. So making positive contributions to your life and to everyone's life around you, well, that is going to make the difference, not just financially, but for your family and for your personal life or your work life. Everything will be better off by you kind of being your best self. So that was the biggest thing that I think I learned in 2022. And the other thing that I learned was everything that rises must also fall, right? We've seen all of these startups and businesses and the stock market and all of these other types of markets grow bigger and stronger than we pretty much ever have seen in American history. Like the housing market, all homes in the market basically set new record highs. The stock market asset prices hit record highs at the end of 2021. Everything was hitting record highs and everything was kind of going up. And I think investors kind of got comfortable with this and assumed, well, then everything must go up forever, right? But the problem is what we've seen is that just is not the case. This is where that education really comes in mind, because if you know anything about American economics or you know anything about economics in general, then you know that nothing can go up forever. Eventually, you're going to have those booms and you're going to have those busts. And in 2023, we could ultimately see a big bust. To be honest with you, I hope we don't. I hope we don't see a bust. I hope that everybody watching this video and most businesses do have a ton of success in 2023. I hope that we don't have tons of unemployment, and I hope that inflation can eventually come out of our economy, but we just don't know. We don't know what's coming in the future, and that means that you have to be financially educated and you have to kind of do what you can to make sure that you don't fall like the majority of Americans probably will. Firms like FTX and a ton of startups, particularly in the tech sector, have been crushed in 2022, and that's probably going to continue. Now, that doesn't mean that the next year is going to be overly negative, right? It means that there's going to be a lot of big changes when it comes to money, how money is spent, and how money is grown. If you want to be on the winning side of that, then you have to know your nation's history and you have to kind of be financially educated to figure out, well, nothing can go up forever. A lot of businesses had the idea of growing at all costs. They didn't want want to fail, they didn't want to go down, and that ultimately cost millions of jobs and valuations that dropped from the billions all throughout 2022. Sustainability is what a lot of companies are going to be focused on in 2023, and it means that we could see a lot of businesses disappear. It could mean we see a lot of people lose their jobs, but at the end of the day, what you have to understand is this is the bust cycle of our economy, and in those bust cycles, there is still going to be millions of Americans that have needs and have wants. We still have a lot of problems in our economy that need solved. We still need entrepreneurs. We still need startups. So there's going to be an opportunity for people to kind of rise up and start a business to fill that need and to kind of fix a lot of the problems that we have in the United States. And this is the best time to do that because everybody else is sort of failing. So now there is this empty space for good entrepreneurs and people who are focused on sustainability. Entrepreneurs that want to be really, really good and want to change the world. They're not focused on profits. And the last thing that I think I learned a lot of in 2023 is investing. Deciding to invest is probably the most important financial decision that you can make because look at how it could have helped you in 2022, right? I mean, inflation hit a record 40-year high of 9.1% back in the summer. So that meant that the value of everyone's dollars were going down. And if you had money in the bank or money under your mattress or just in your wallet, it was losing a ton of value. But investing your money actually beat a lot of that. And it meant that the value of your money, the value of your hard work going to your job every day, well, you were actually getting some of that value back instead of losing it every single day due to inflation. People need to know the value of the dollar, but if the dollar's value keeps going down, then what is the point of any of it? So one thing that I learned is that investing is the key. It's the key to long-term wealth, and it's the key to beating inflation and your money growing on your behalf and your money kind of gaining value over time instead of losing value, because nobody wants to work hard and then have all of their money lost to inflation. Kind of going off of that with the whole work idea, I think a lot of Americans kind of realized this year that you need to do what is going to make you happy in this world. You need to be able to find something that is fulfilling and that brings you value. And if you have value from it, then eventually you can start bringing value to everything else in your life. But it starts with you being happy. It starts with you kind of finding something and not really chasing the money, because I can guarantee you the more you chase the money, the less happy you will be in life, because honestly, you will never catch up to it. So focus on what brings you value first, and that can be at your job, that can be at your hobbies, but make a long-term goal and educate yourself as much as possible so that way you can continue to grow yourself from the inside and then out. Because if you can be somebody that is valuable both in your personal life and in your professional life, then you're going to have success, both financial and emotional. And eventually that will start bringing you a ton of happiness for every aspect of your life, and it will bleed into other people because you will be making more money and you will be more happy, and you can spread that happiness throughout your community and your family. And that is what life is all about. And one more thing before I go, because I know I've talked a lot about the financial world and things that you can do, but I am eternally grateful for you being here and watching these videos, liking every video, hitting that subscribe button, whatever you have done this year to support me and to support this channel, I am eternally grateful for. I did not think that I would be on the cusp of around 10,000 subscribers at this point, and I still can't believe it. So thank you again for sharing, for watching, for subscribing and commenting and everything else that you've done. I've got big plans for this channel going into 2023, and I'm hoping that we can do even better with your support. So once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I don't exactly know what is going to happen in 2023. I know right now that it seems like things are pretty gloomy, right? I mean, it seems like there is a lot of darkness and bad things in this world. You can't go a day without seeing all of these crazy headlines about war or inflation and businesses shutting down and people losing their jobs. And I know that it is overwhelming, but what I will tell you from my experience is there is also a lot of good in this world. There is a lot of businesses and a lot of people who are thriving and people who want to do good every single day. And oftentimes those stories are the ones that get missed the most. So if you take anything away from this channel, if you take anything away from this video or from the financial world in 2022, be kind in 2023. Strive to be that good person in somebody else's world, and I can promise you that this world will be a better place one step at a time. And the more that you can do that, the more you can become the happiness in somebody else's life. Happy New Year, everybody. Be kind out there, and I'll see you all in 2023.